Germany, we think, are going to monster this, and they have not monstered it. It's a terrible wolf. This is Axis and Allies, the 1999 Europe edition, video number 2 in our series, where we're playing all the powers and bringing you all the dice rolls and most of the movements if we can. While we peruse the board just before we get going with some gameplay, may I mention that I make these videos in aid of a charity called Cure Parkinson's. You can guess what they're trying to do. There's a link to them below this video and one in the About section on the channel page. If you happen to have a spare, $1, euro, yen, yak or British pound, you can send to them. I am sure that they would appreciate it. So in turn number 1, Germany made some great advances forward. They've got themselves onto the borders of the Soviet Union and have repelled most of the English invasion, although the Brits did buy themselves 3 destroyers which are in the Celtic Sea, and the Americans have started to come over as well. But Germany got a bit of thinking to do if they're going to get Moscow, which is their win condition, to hold that for one continual round. Down here, this fleet down here in the Central Med has come across and been loading units into North Africa. We think if we continue to try to protect this fleet as the German player, the Brits could reach it with some of their air power that's landed in Gibraltar. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and at least the bomber can hit it. There's a fighter plane here can hit it, and it gives Britain a tempting opportunity to try to either attack the fleet or attack the ground forces, depending on how far forward these push. So Germany have been giving up on this North African campaign. They've made some good inroads in getting units across to here, but if they continue to try to do that, it takes away their push towards Moscow, which is the main objective for them. And if they have enough of a distraction down here keeping the Brits occupied, at least some of these units that are here heading into Ukraine this go can also sweep round into the Caucasus and come down from the north side of it, threaten Stalingrad and be a general distraction to the whole Allied campaign. So that's the very rough plan for what we're going to be doing. I'll get on with the purchases, and when the first dice rolls are ready to roll, which is going to be probably these states down here, which is Romania and is that Bessarabia, both pushing into the Ukraine with some backup. I think these tanks can reach through 2 spaces as well. We should get quite a few units into the Ukraine and maybe load some stuff in from eastern Poland, etc. Let me just get everything tied up and I'll just see you in a little minute. Okay, things are just about ready for the German attack now, and it is a beautiful, if not complex and daunting and exciting thing. We have got this fleet being hit in the Celtic Sea with these 2 subs. They're going to come round 1, 2 and get involved in the battle. I think we have got this sub from the North Sea can come 1, 2 around the top into that battle, and we have this destroyer and this submarine can come through English Channel in Celtic Sea to get involved in the battle, along with this bomber from central Germany can get into there too. So one massive big battle going off there in the sea. It's a going for broke strategy, I think, for Germany. But also in the Central Med, this fleet is going to go into the Eastern Med. They're slightly up on the numbers, a battleship at 4 and a destroyer at 3 versus 1 at 3 and 1 at 1. That should take care of that, and leaving this transport ship naked afterwards, but it will be transporting these units across to North Africa, ready for that push in the campaign. These are going to go forward into from Libya into Egypt, and everything that gets into the Ukraine here, apart from these 2 fighters, which will also fly across, I've marked it up with their fuel token that's left, will be onto this battle board, and we start rolling that one out. Let me just clear me throat. I'll be with you 1 second. That's better. Quick cup of coffee. I should perhaps have mentioned that the purchases for Germany, they've got themselves 5 infantry artillery combinations plus a tank, come up to 40 IPCs, a little bit of change left over for next turn should they need them. And obviously all these units that are already in Poland and Hungary will start moving forward and reinforcing Ukraine. We don't expect them to be losing too many in this one big massive battle that's upcoming. Let me just move those 2 planes into place as well. 1, 2, that come from central Germany. The one that's already there came from, I think it was Poland originally, but I might be wrong. But we got some fuel gauges on them as well. But the first attack roll that Germany are going to have is going to be absolutely monster. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks plus 3 fighters, all rolling in at 3s. Looking forward to that. So let's get this one done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice. These are the tanks, all rolling at 3s. The Soviets have got the same number of infantry as Germany, 8 infantry. Obviously, their tanks only defending at a 2. So I think Germany, we think, are going to monster this in this roll. Let's see what happens. And they have not monstered it. It's a terrible roll for Germany. Just 2 hits there out of that. So that would be 2 off of the Soviets. That's a stack of 5 behind. So we'll take those 2 off of there straight away. Now they've got the 3 fighter planes can also go in there. We'll use black dice again for them. Hopefully they'll be more lucky than the first roll. And 3 out of 3. Can you see that? There's the third one there, all 3s. So that's 3 mil off of Germany. 1, 2, 3. Disappointing from the Panzer division straight away, but that's the way the liquor crumbles sometimes. They've now got 1 infantry and 1 artillery together. Combination at 2s. And they've scored 1 hit out of that. That's 1 more of the Soviet infantry. And that would leave 7 dice for the infantry going in naked. 7 at 1s, what can they do? They can all miss. To be expected, but you might have asked for 1 hit maybe, but that initial roll from Germany, that first push in there, has resulted in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 casualties off of the Soviets. So they have got 8 infantry themselves, which is 6, 7, 8. They've got 2 artilleries and a tank. That's all at 2s because the armour defends at 2s in this version of the game. What can the Soviets do in reply? Plenty of absorption by Germany, all that infantry, and they've scored 1, 2, just the 3 hits. So it's quite low rolling all the way across. Can't see any more on that tray. Yeah, just the 3 losses for Germany there. So these 3 infantry come away from Germany's plate. All these come away from the Soviets, and we're going to go on to round number 2 because for sure Germany are going to be pushing this attack, no problem at all with that. They have got, as we said before, there will be 8 dice, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 dice for the tanks, plus 3 for the aircraft going in. I can do it that way around, no problem at all. All at 3s, and that again isn't a bit of an underroll. I think 1, 2, just the 3 hits there by the German forces, but we are now into some more expensive units. 1, 2, 3. We will have infantry artillery combination by Germany. That will be 2 at 2. Let's give the infantry the red dice, the artillery the black dice, and they've scored 1 hit out of that. So that's 1 more gone. So that would then leave 1, 2, 3, 4 dice at 1s for the infantry going in naked. Can they finish off this 1 armour and hit on a 1? They can't. But it's not too bad. Not too bad at all for Germany here. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice, all at 2s. To see what the Soviets can do in reply on the round 2, and they scored 3 hits. That's pretty strong. Germany go ouch, ouch, ouch. 1, 2, 3. But they are now going to, for sure, finish off this armour. I can't see any way that it's going to survive. It's one massive big roll by Germany, and then we can tidy things up and look at the next battle in a second. So let's just roll 6 tanks in for the moment. To see if they score a 2. Yeah, just smashed it out of the water. Yeah, now you're hitting. Now there's nothing to actually hit you back with. You're now doing very well, you Panzer tanks. So let's roll that 1 Soviet tank in response at a 2. And it misses entirely. So that is the end of the battle in the Ukraine SSR. All those units will be going back into the ground in the Ukraine, grabbing 2 IPCs for their economy. So I'm talking and looking at the same places in different times. We've had the fighters will probably go back into Bessarabia because they'll be out of range from an attack from Belarusia. So if you put them into Poland, they might be a little bit weak. I may not fly them out. Let me just double check that. But the next battle we get, let's just go down south and we move these guys in from Libya into Egypt, along these tanks, infantry, artillery, and this plane, and see what we can do down there. Let me tidy things up, and I will see you in 1 second. Okay, that is how the Ukraine look after that battle. We're probably going to be loading these infantry in the non-com move into there just to help support those tanks, because though the Soviets could attack anywhere along this front when it comes to their turn, should they attack the fast-moving, expensive tanks, that's going to be quite painful for Germany. They could probably afford to maybe lose Eastern Poland, maybe lose some of these guys in the Baltic states, but losing these expensive tanks would hurt Germany quite a lot. So let's have a look at that later on, once all the battles are finished. This is the battle down here into Egypt. We have got, for the UK, 1 defending fighter at 4, infantry, artillery, and a tank. Germany got just the 1 fighter, the 1 tank, and 2 infantry artillery. So it's a fairly even battle now. Who's your money on? We have got 2 at 3 and 4 at 2 for Germany. That's a pretty good roll, I think, is it? 2 at 3 is 1 hit, and 4 at 2 is 2 more hits. That's 3 off of the British defending forces. So 2 infantry and an artillery go behind the line. Their response to that is crucial. 1 fighter at 4 and then 4 at 2. And the Brits are very similar. They're going to do 3 hits onto Germany. So 1, 2, 3 come off the board. Germany can now try to finish off this battle, push themselves in with 1 fighter and 1 tank at 3 and 1 artillery at 2. Just about got this, we think. Not with a roll like that, they haven't. That's a terrible roll. 1 fighter and 1 tank, a 4 and a 2 in defence for the Brits. And they've scored 1 hit. Now, do Germany pull away from this attack? And they wouldn't want to lose that plane. They are actually being outscored now because this attacks at 4, that attacks at 3, defends at 4. So yeah, I think Germany are going to pull away from there and move these units back into Libya, back down here, and we will get this battle with these 2 boats moving in against this fleet in here on the board. 1 second. Okay, after the embarrassing hiccup of that attack into Egypt, we've now got this battle into the Eastern Mediterranean. We have got the German battleship at 4 and the destroyer rolling in at 3s, black being the highest register, and they've scored 1 hit already. The Brits can take that off of the transport ship. It will get a response though of 1 at 3 and 1 at 1. And the Brits have missed with both of their shots. That's pretty poor as far as the Brits are concerned. They will now get Germany going again at a 4 and at a 3. See if they can take this destroyer out that the Brits have got in there. And the destroyer has to score the hit, so that now goes under. And Germany will survive this battle because no matter what, if the Brits score a hit, it'll be absorbed on the battleship, and that will come back to life at the end of the turn anyway. So Germany have at least won 1 battle there quite nicely. They will go back on the board. 1 second. Back into the Eastern Mediterranean down here. Let me stand up for this. These units that have returned back into Libya with their tail between the legs after attack into Egypt. But at least we can load these guys down here to here, and Britain will have to think whether it wants to use these planes, this bomber plane, to attack the central med here. It can fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and land into Egypt should it want to, but again, it's going to be way out of position. And wow, are Germany strong enough down here now? It's leaving me with a few quandaries. But before we get to resolve all of those quandaries, we have this battle in the South Sea featuring 1, 2, 3, 4 submarines, a destroyer and a bomber versus this British and American fleet tidied up in there. Let me get this on the board and I will see you over there. This is the battle ready to go underway in the Celtic Sea. I would just mention that in the first video I did say that one of the things that Germany will be trying to do would be to hurt the Brits and the Americans with these convoy centres. And we didn't take the submarines into here, take these 3 IPCs away from their economy this time round, figuring that we take 3 and 3, maybe take 5 off of there again by moving submarines around, or by taking out these 4 destroyers that are in here, plus the one transport ship. You'll be taking out 48 plus 8 IPCs directly from the coal face of the economy. It seems like a positive EV for me, so that's why we decided to go for not an abandonment of the economic damage plan, but just a hiatus in it this time around. So let's get this battle rocking and rolling. We've got this one bomber that rolls in at 4, and we have the destroyer from Germany rolling in at 3. Then we'll have the submarines coming into effect after that. 4 and a 3, and we scored 1 hit straight away, so that 1 transport will go down from America land. And then we have the 4 submarines, the Wolf Pack, howling like howling wolf, and they scored 2 hits. Oh, that's a bit stronger than anybody would have hoped for. So they're taking both off the Brits, I think, first time round, because I think America coming strongly later on is going to be the best allied tactic, rather than taking them off that American thing. Although, is it going to survive? We don't know. We don't know, do we? We do not know. We have got these 4 destroyers, 2 alive and 2 are sunk, and 1 transport ship. So we've got 3s and 1s in defence. What can the Allied do? They've got 2 hits out of that. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So 2 German submarines go down. 1, 2, and these are all lost. I should think that Germany will press this attack. They've done enough damage to justify that attack. If they finish it off, it's another 24 IPCs away from that Allied economy in total. So the bomber at 4 and the destroyer at 3. What can Germany do? They can score 1 more hit out of it. Again, we take the British ship off, and 2 submarines from Germany floating around, and they've both missed this time. In response, we have 2 at 3 from the British American Allied forces, and they've scored 2 hits. Well, that's going to end that attack, I think, because I think that's really a bit too much for Germany to be able to withstand. At least they've got this 1 destroyer left themselves versus 1 destroyer that the Allied will have in there. That's an American boat. Not sure where it's going to go. Let's just get this thing back on the board, and I will see you in a second. Okay, this is the way things look now after Germany has completed all their non-com moves. Little postscript from that last battle in the Celtic Sea. Germany lost 32 IPCs worth of units, and the Allied lost 44. So economically, it was just about the right decision. Even though they did have to retreat from the Celtic Sea battle and from the battle in Egypt, which now looks a little bit strong with this plane flying over from Morocco here into here, and the 2 units coming across via this 1 transport ship. Germany are strong enough on this east-west border to hang on, we think, and defend, if not necessarily attack from there, but their main force, their big bulk, is in the Ukraine SSR, can attack Stalingrad, can withstand the attack from Belarusia, they would hope. If they get this factory here, Germany, they're going to be in the box seat, we think. But the Allies have got lots to say before then. The Soviets on turn number 2 are getting themselves a bit of bark to go with their bite. Couple of artillery to go with their infantry. Not that useful just now, but in a couple of turns' time they could be crucial, because, well, the Soviets, they're going to be taking the chance. Yeah, Chicky chance. They're going in with ABBA forces with Chicky chance. They're going to be hitting the Ukraine SSR with anything that can actually reach it. The reason being, if Germany, with this tank division in SSR, get into the Caucasus, it's going to start wrecking the economy of the Soviets. Up in Turkestan, Siberia, it's going to be bad. Come down south into the Order States, it's going to be bad for all of the Allies, especially with this smaller German force here in Libya. If they get into their factory at Stalingrad, and Germany can start then producing units on the coal face, it's going to be really bad for the Soviets. So to get in there first, with German tanks defending at 2 and Soviets attacking at 3, they can get 3 tanks in there, a fighter and a bomber, and I think we can release 5 infantry, maybe 7 or 8 infantry, and 1 artillery to give us a blunting force to blunt this German advance now. So if it works out fine, all well and good, and I'll be a hero. If I get it completely wrong, it could be disastrous for the whole Allied campaign. We'll see you on the battle board in a couple of seconds. This is the slightly risky attack into the Ukraine by the Soviet Union. They are going to be moving 3 extra infantry in there. They come from Stalingrad because when I put the things on the battle board, Germany had 14 units in there, 14 defending it too, gave them 28 numbers to try and hit with, versus the Soviet Union. I think they're on about 24. So it does bring them up sort of slightly closer to an even battle, and hopefully with some vodka in their socks, they will do some massive damage. We got a bomber at 4, fighter at 3, and 3 tanks going in straight away for the Soviet Union. What can they open up with this time round? They have got... That's massive. That is absolutely massive. That is 5 out of 5 hits. That's the 4s. That's the 3s. All the German infantry have been wiped out in one move. How did that happen? Crikey O'Reilly. Let's now look at the infantry artillery combination. There's 2 at 2 by the Soviets. Wow. Infantry artillery at 2's completely missing. We're still happy with that first part of the attack. There's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry on their feet, going in naked. So I've got 5, 6, 7 dice, all going in at 1s and scoring 1 more hit out of it. That is the all the cheap units gone. I mean, cheap in terms of money, but expensive in terms of manpower. Just leaving the 8 tanks there. Wow. Okay, Germany, what you've got to match this. This has got to be a heck of a roll to match that. They've got 14 dice. I've got 12 in my hand, so it'll be 2 afterwards. All going in at 2s. That one didn't get into the board, so that doesn't count. We've got 1, 2, 3 hits. Just the 3 hits straight away. Plus there's those 2 more dice. This could be important. If they're not good rolls, Germany could be suffering here. And they got 1 more hit out of it. So 4 off of the Soviets. Let's take these 4 guys out of it. So 4 from the Soviets, but that is 5, 6 units all lost by the by Germany. This could be a great tactic. I wasn't hopeful, as you know. I thought this was a bit of a Aber attack, a tricky chance attack. But it's working. It's working. I'm a hero. We've got 1 bomber, 1 fighter, and 3 tanks going in there. 4s and 3s. Can they smash it again? I mean, that was devastating first time. And this time they scored 2 more hits off of Germany. So that's 2 of their tanks are going to be lost. That's 2 expensive units straight away. We've got infantry artillery. That's 2 at 2 and 3 fighters going in naked at 1s. So 2s and 1s. And they completely missed there. Nothing from the 2s, nothing from the 1s. So Germany would be fairly happy with that second part of the roll. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe it is. Yep, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice now for Germany with all their tanks. We give them 6 black and 2 red dice. Going in at 2s, trying to get something back out of this battle, and that's pretty damn good. That's 4 hits they've scored there. Nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the Soviet infantry themselves now lost, but they've still got some pretty high hitting numbers there left over this battle. They've got the bomber at 4, the fighter at 3, and 3 tanks at 3. This tactic could just work out. And they smashed it again. They have absolutely smashed it again. That's 5 lost by Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer. They've now got their 1 artillery left on his own. Not quite quaking in his boots. And he scored a hit. Germany have been done. They have been absolutely done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. They get their 6 dice at 2 in reply. It could be expensive for the Soviet Union here, but that's, wow. All at 2s, and they've scored 2 more hits. So well, Soviets are going to lose one artillery and one tank themselves. But Germany have been absolutely spanked there, I think we can say from that. Massive rolls by Soviets. They're going to get those tanks back into the Ukraine. 1 second. That is how the Ukraine now look after we've reinforced all the units into there. We've got some units down from Archangel, Karelia, Russia, Belarusia. This whole front line now for the Soviets has been balanced as much as I think is necessary. With their infantry artillery loading in Stalingrad, we are still anticipating that a southernmost attack from Germany, but it could come anywhere because these tanks from Hungary can roll through two spaces. We've got a couple of or three fighters there, they can fly anywhere around the board. So should Germany decide to attack somewhere, I think they could still be pretty much a potent force. But whether they'll be leaving holes and a supply route which is not strong at the moment is well up to the luck of the dice. So with the Soviets coming down a little bit more into the oil states, trying to support the Brits down here, that's about the end of the Soviet turn. I would assume we'll get round to doing the Brits. Okay, on with the Brits in turn number 2. Not a very exciting round, not a very exciting purchase. A couple of transport ships trying to replace what was lost or mashed in turn number 1. They're going to be moving this one destroyer down, 2 spaces, and grabbing this 5 IPCs back from the German, or back into their economy rather, taking the German roundel off of it. They're going to take this one bomber, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the central med and have a little pop at this German transport ship. These 2 fighters are going to be moving it into Malta, and this bomber will be landing back into Malta afterwards. Should it survive? There's no reason why it shouldn't survive apart from a duff dice roll. This one fighter is going to come 1, 2 and support the bomber into there. So we've got 2 rolls against this thing, and everything else is going to move themselves back either from Egypt into Palestine or from Syria into Palestine to give themselves a small little bulky force there that I don't think Germany will be strong enough to actually attack. They got obviously a couple of fighters and a tank could reach Palestine, but they're expensive units and they wouldn't want to lose them. The Brits, having this bomber and 2 fighters in Gibraltar, was slightly out of position, but they're now getting themselves back into place. They can land into Palestine turn 3 and be supporting the Soviets on turn number 4, provided they survive this attack in the first place. Let's have a little look at the dice. We have got, balance the camera 1 second, we have got the bomber rolling in at 4 and the fighter rolling in at 3. Black is the highest register. And they've both scored hits. That German transport is now lost. It gets a roll of 1 in defence and it misses entirely. So, as I said to you, these would go back into here, forward into here. The fighter will land itself into Palestine as well after the attack, and that goes into Malta. They go into Malta, and I'll adjust the British IPCs in a second. After that, we get on with the American turn. So there are the 2 British transport ships. They've gone into the Canadian factory, or come out from the Canadian factory into the Davis Straits. They're going to take this 1 armour and this 1 anti-aircraft gun across to British mainland next turn. The Americans have bought themselves belts and braces, another destroyer, a couple of transport ships, infantry, artillery. They're going to be loading across again next turn. There's going to be 1 small piece of combat. This 1 bomber, this 1 fighter, we're taking on this German destroyer here in the English Channel, making sure that whatever they purchase and bring over shouldn't just get lost at sea. So to that end, we have a battle to roll out for us. We've got the 1 American bomber, the 1 American fighter, 4s and 3s. And the fighter has scored a hit, just about, and the destroyer from Germany that will go under will get its reply roll at a 3, and it misses. So that means this will go. I can tidy everything up on the board now and adjust the IPC values. But that would do for turn number 2 and video number 2. I will see you in video number 3. They'll be coming up in a wee while.